Steve
Yeah.
Lukather, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Ready for the 11th? You guys, along with Men at Work and Christopher Cross, such a cool vibe here. But before we get started, there it is,
Look at that, man.
1982.
Oh my god.
1982, man.
Oh
That's
my
the
god.
first
Yeah.
time that you guys played Pine Knob.
Well, it's almost, August is when we're playing there again. That's wild. What is that?
Yeah.
I don't want to do the math on that. It'll terrify me. But you know what? We're thrilled there because ticket sales are great, and we're just thrilled to play the venue. It's always been that was the first venue when I was with Boss Gags when I was 19 years old in 1977. Pine Knob was the first shed I ever played. And it was a great night, and it has a special place in my heart.
It's a silly question, but I'm someone who will never play a musical instrument, especially on stage at the level you've done. When you're on stage, are there moments where you get taken back, where all of a sudden you get a wash of memories?
Well, yeah, man, one of the
Really?
heaviest is when we played the Hollywood Bowl last year in LA, my hometown, and the Jeff Beck family gave me the guitar to play. It's the traveling guitar. It's going around a different one of Jeff's guitars, and Jeff was a friend and a absolute hero of mine and his wife. Sandra is giving it to different musicians to, put some love on and share it. And, I got to do that, and the first night was at the Hollywood Bowl. It's a Strat that I played. I worked with Jeff, um, toured and did some recording. I mean, we were friends for real.
Yeah.
And I played that guitar when he was alive, and it was just a trip for me. I'm at the Hollywood Bowl standing where Hendrix played it, where Jeff Beck played it, and then here I am standing there and playing the Hollywood Bowl in my hometown where the Beatles and it all started. And you have these moments where you just go, holy shit. And I kind of like looked the other way, made a stupid mistake, of course, but um, it was overwhelming. The emotion was so heavy to realize that after all these years come full circle to have that moment on that stage. Yeah, there are moments every once in a while where you just kind of get overtaken by emotion, and it's real. We're human, I mean, it was like the full circle of a dream I never thought was even attainable.
I was watching the Sabbath, the whole tribute show, and when Ozzy was singing "Mama, I'm Coming Home" and the vocals, I don't know how the band kept it together because none of us did. I mean, those moments, and I know you and Tony have been friends for years, right?
Well, I mean, not friends for you. I've met him. I'm a great honor.
No,
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he said something nice about us actually recently. He goes, believe me, the guy asked him what he was listening. He goes, well, believe it or not, but listen to Toto, not the hits, the other stuff. He goes, these guys are really good. I think to get the love from that, I mean, that meant the world to me. Unsolicited, if you will. And I've always been a fan. I mean, I had the record when first album when it came out, when I was young. We all loved Sabbath, man, and all the whole genre of music. I mean, I love metal. I mean, I have so many friends in it, and I enjoy jamming with those guys every now and then. I mean, Slipknot's an incredible band, and I'm
Yeah.
a little bit friendly with Corey, the singer, and we did a charity thing once, and he was really so cool. I was really surprised. You'd be surprised how much all these different. You wouldn't think that I would hang out with this guy in this genre of music or that guy, but in the end, we're all just guitar players. We're all just guys. Maybe we do a different version of what's happening with it, but we all came up wanting to do what we were doing and we got successful. So it's kind of like there's always a respect, no matter what kind of music, what style it is, that musicians that have got some legs on it, got more than 20 years, and get some extra love.
Is there a song with Toto that I want to say hard because that for you, Steve? I mean, you've been doing these long enough, but one you really like to lean into and make a meal out of when you're playing.
Well, there's a few. Some of them are not the hits, but although I do get to play a lot at the end of Rosanna or something like that, we have parts where we play the songs pretty much like the record, like the way people want to hear them. And then we have parts of it where we can jam and we get going, and it's different every night. So that's fun for me because the level of musicianship in the band is at the highest level I can get.
You'll see, I always screw up the title of the song. I'll supply the night. You supply the night. I supply the love. That song,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Play it. We'll play that one.
All right. That song to me is chaos in the best way because right in the middle of it, it turns into a Star Wars theme, and it's got like a
Star
disco
Wars,
beat. Then it
Star Wars wasn't out when we recorded that.
so Star Wars stole your shit. Okay.
I was just Dave, just having fun with it. Just it's sort of spaced out. Semi mushroom moment, but we we did stuff like that.
It's cool though, and my son's studying music. My son Adam, and he wants to be a producer. He's studying music at Wayne State, and he loves it. He listens to your stuff, and
Oh
he'll be
wow.
with us at the show. And it's cool because Steve, like, he leans back and goes, "Damn, there's a lot going on." I mean, you guys really built these songs. It wasn't as simple as just laying down a track and doing some vocals, and you're good to go.
We really enjoyed producing the records. Like we always loved the big productions on albums, you know, the Pink Floyd stuff, Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, The Wall, you know, Dark Side of the Moon, and you know, Sergeant Pepper's, and you know, all the ones that had these massively like Yes and yeah, Genesis, the original Genesis and all that. I love all the versions, but I was always a, you know, the original Genesis. I was still in high school. That touched me. All the, you know, we're sort of a product of every influence that we've ever listened to, whether it be top 40 radio, Motown, or regular straight pop, or all the hard late 60s, 70s rock, you know, and prog and all the other stuff of the era. We just kind of, since the Beatles, the Stones, and all that came, I started to learn how to play. You know, I saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1964, and now I've been in a band with Ringo for 13 years, you know. I've had a lot
And
of
he just
moments, you know, with working with people that I always admire.
Well, and that's what's cool. I think, don't you think, right now, Luke, that we're at a point where everyone, it's okay to listen to more than one type of music. And you know what I mean? It was a period like growing up where, like, if you listen to country or you listen to rock, your friends would judge you. And now, like, nobody gives a shit. If it's good music, it's good music.
Well, you know, a lot of people hated us at the beginning because of the diversity. Not only did we play different styles, we had different singers, even on the first album. So and they made up the story that we were put together in a boardroom or something. We're a high school band, and when we were in high school, when I met the guys, when I met Steve Picaro and the whole family, Jeff Picaro was the drummer in Steely Dan, and those guys were David Page. Sorry, I got the hiccups.
That's all right.
David Page was playing a session player, and we wanted to do that and have a band, and we actually pulled it off.
And it's funny, like Greg Fillinganes, I'm a huge fan of his. And
Yeah.
Behind the Mask is one of those songs. I played that for my kid, and he looked at me and went, "Whoa." I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." The Greg Fillinganes is no joke, man. I mean, this dude leans into it.
And Greg and I go, you know, he goes back to the very beginning of our band. And I met Greg when I was with Boz Skaggs in '77. He was with Stevie Wonder. And and then we started doing all the Quincy stuff when we were still very young. And we became friends. He's in a photo with us when we got our first platinum record. So he's family. And plus he was in the band in the early 2000s for a while. Did a couple albums with us and tours. And everybody was splintered off, you know, but he's back and it's really great to have him back. I mean, he really does. David Page's chair, that piano he's the guy that really, him and Jeff Vaccaro put the band together. I'm just holding the candle, man. You know, I'm not Mr. Toto. I'm just keeping the music alive and trying to play it at the highest level with the best musicians that understand what that is. And I got them. And everybody gets along really well and things are going great. I mean, I really wanted to get the United States back, and I didn't want us to die as an asterisk in 1983 or something like that. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, they had a couple of hits out of that Africa song. Oh God, whatever, you know. I mean, it's the greatest blessing and curse there is. You know what I mean?
Christopher Cross. It's funny. You and I, last time you and I talked, I'm waiting for the 4 hours that they didn't use of your interview for Yacht Rock. By the way, they got to use more. There's got to be a volume two. There's got to be a volume two.
You know, the thing is, we were too much of a part of it. It would have been too much Toto, you know what I mean? Because since we were the guys that played on all those records, at least one of us. So I mean, they had to stretch it out across the whole thing, give somebody else credit. Like nobody mentioned that I co-wrote "Turn Your Love Around" for George Benson. I don't win Grammy for that because it's too much Toto. It's like, okay, they gave George the love for it, but I'm not looking for the stroke. I did it as a favor to Christopher because Christopher's daughter was the producer. So I was early on. He goes, "Luke, if you do this for me, man, it'll really help everybody." I said, "Okay, man, I don't care what you want to call it anymore. Whatever. It's been called soft rock. It's been called West Coast. It's been called whatever name you want to come up with, you know." But at the end of the day, I'm going to be 68 years old in October. I'm not trying to be cool. I'm loving the fact that this 15 to 35-year-old age group is listening to our music and coming to our shows Africa was got them there, great. Then we find out that they start buying all the rest of the 18 records they didn't know we had. Been great.
Was Christopher Cross always this good of a guitar player, and I just didn't know it? Because the more I see of him recently,
he is a great guitar player.
He is.
I mean, I played on his early solo stuff, you know, to some of the hits, you know, not Ride Like the Wind, that's him, and Sailing, that's all him. But the second album, I did solos on that, and there were hits. I did the Arthur thing with him. I mean, we've been friends for a long time. That's how this whole thing got put together. When I put this together, it was my idea to sell it to Live Nation. That let's take advantage of this genre without saying the word. I don't want to say the word. If you can call it what you. I mean, just I don't want to. I don't care, but I mean, I don't want to ingrain it, like tattoo it to me for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Because in 20 years they'll come up with another name for it. You know what I mean? But I don't. It was. I thought, what an interesting summer package, because you know a lot of the same people do the same tours every year in various permutations. This was like, okay, let's come out of left field. It's not heavy metal and it's not Taylor Swift. It's like, okay, we got something.
Do you know where my kids found Colin and Men at Work? They discovered them from Scrubs, the episode where he walked around doing the acoustic version of Overkill. And then they went down the rabbit hole and went, these guys are really good. I'm like, yeah, Cargo's a pretty amazing goddamn album, the whole thing. But yeah, and you obviously the connection with Colin and everybody through Ringo.
Ringo's band together.
Yeah.
And we became close friends. I've always been a fan of him. We were, you know, I just thought, let's go out on the road with our friends, man. And everybody's different. Everybody has huge hit songs, and everybody's really good live. And people, I think, are going to go, this is really good value for the dollar to see all three of these acts in one night. And everybody's got it. Yeah, and we're all friends, so it makes it this big, fun thing. It's not like Battle of the Egos or anything like that, you know?
The 11th, August 11th here at Pine Knob, tickets on sale. Obviously, Pine Knob Music Theater, and we'll be there on the lawn, on the pavilion. This is a tailgating Monday night chilling. I will be there with my entire family, dude. We can't wait, Luke.
All right, man. We'll come back and say hi.
Absolutely. We'll get that set up. But most importantly, it's not about me. It's about you guys and what you do with Toto. Keep doing the music you're doing, because there's so much that people, I don't like the word discover. I think they, I don't know what it is. You fall into music.
It's like 3 generations of people coming down. I mean, they discover whatever I'm just happy they're showing up and digging the music.
What are you listening to right now?
Nothing. I'm talking about
nothing.
I'm on an ear break right now.
Are you?
And I do this for a living my whole life. I mean, does a doctor come home and dissect a frog? You know.
Wait a minute. So there are days where you won't pick up a guitar, where you're just
I already practiced once already. I practiced for a couple times a day. I'm more on the tour, but I mean, I don't sit around and, you know, I listen to music, sure, but not that, you know, a lot of acoustic stuff. I like the old, you know, Miles Davis, late, you know, early 60s stuff, you know, Four and More and Kind of Blue. I like, you know, stuff, turn it down low and just have a vibe, you know what I mean? And I'm learning harmonically, you know, you can always grab something from the geniuses, you know. But you know, I sometimes I listen to nothing, man.
See, I respect that. Yeah, I always wonder, because you know, you hear things differently. You listen to music differently than we have. Okay, there you go. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Put on some Foxworthy and call it.
We need more comedy in this world, man.
Amen. Hey, we will see you here, man. Cannot wait for Pine Knob. Thank you, Luke.
Thanks for having me, man. I'll talk to you later.